Hello everyone and welcome to D&D Night on twitch.tv/DDOstream. I am your Dungeon Master here this evening, Cordovan, and we are doing part 3 of our 3-part campaign called Minding the Store. Yes, this is the final action-packed battle of our 3-parter here where the group was sent by the Queen's Guard to take a look and mind a store, which turned out to not actually so much be a store, but be a secret trove of exceptional magic items deep within a essentially ghost town of sorts in the far reaches of the kingdom, run by one Esnazarius and his cat, Esnazarius Jr. And, okay, let me make sure I'm going on you guys as well. I'm just doing a little bit of a recap here for the people. Sorry, the people in Discord are just now hearing me. So you were sent to a store by one Esnazarius and his cat, Esnazarius Jr., or to mind a store, and when you got there you found those two. They quickly departed, leaving you in charge just in time to find a dispute with a hag who showed up at the door demanding something that the hag believes is rightfully hers. Otherwise, mostly just trying to kill you with her and her minions, and you've been defending it ever since. We're going to go around, introduce yourself, and introduce your character for those who might just be tuning in for the first time tonight. We're going to start with Corki.
Hello, everyone. This is Comic Relief playing the character of Corki. He is a human monk.
All right, up next is Lucrezia.
Hi, everybody. This is Lynn. I'll be playing Lucrezia, who is a human paladin.
All right, up next is Maximilian.
Hi, everybody. I'm playing Maximilian, the somewhat disembodied judge.
I actually had a quick question here. I was going to ask you before, but I'll ask you right now. You know, I don't really do alignment in any of my campaigns, but because it's relevant tonight, I must ask, what alignment would Maximilian present to the world?
Lawful neutral.
Okay, so not directly evil.
No.
Okay,
No.
good to know.
Fear is just a tool.
Okay, good to know. And then finally wrapping it up here is Tabiana.
Hello, this is Evennote. I am playing Tabiana Brightleaf, the halfling cat-loving cleric.
All right, so as I was explaining to the group earlier, you were minding a store. You've been in combat, in heated combat, the second or third time now with these hags. You've also explored the store and discovered
Cuckoo.
that there's a lot of magic items, many of which appear to be exceptionally dangerous. You also know that you've had some things pilfered from the store, or at least attempted to be pilfered from the store, by some kind of invisible creatures. Probably, you saw at one point it was an imp, or at least you've been attacked by an imp, so that would make some sense. But right now, you are in the midst of a heated combat. You've been doing pretty well so far. You severely damaged a couple of the hellhounds and severely damaged one of the two hags. And it looks like it's top of the order with you, Corki. Do we have any...
I don't really have a question necessarily, but I do want to remind you that the floor cleaning gelatinous cube, which is running around in here, we've got corralled over by the southeastern door. So if somebody tries to sneak in that way, they're basically going to find themselves enveloped in the gelatinous cube. Right. As I recall, they kind of. All right, so they retreated out of the store for now, so I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I know they're outside. Right, but right now they're not actually inside, so I don't really see them from where I'm at, correct?
I will guard it with my life.
Hey, can you remind me what the R is? Is that the defunct rutabaga? The R that's right in front of the door? Okay.
A mean rutabaga there.
It was a mean rutabaga. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hold my action until a target of opportunity, if you will. Not really, but you know, somebody pops back in which case I'll take an action at that point.
Yeah, actually, is the front door open or closed?
Sure, no worries. I was just saying I'm going to hold my action until a target actually comes into in through the door so that I see them, and once that happens, then I will take an action. Okay, I'll kind of point that out to people, but otherwise I'll hold off.
Right, I had chucked out some centipedes, I believe, but we don't know if they're dealt with or not yet. Yeah, well, I had chucked the bottles out the door to fight the hellhounds. Right.
All right. Anything else that we want to do here before we sort of give you a chance to see what you want to do? I'm going to give you basically a little bit of time to perhaps reinforce the store if you want, or run outside and confront them, or whatever else you might have in mind.
Okay.
Well, I kind of
want to go out and see what's out there, but I don't want to leave Sneezy Jr. I've taken responsibility for him.
It can be safely assumed that Esnazarius Jr. is comfortably hiding under the table.
But what if a
Hellhound comes in and looks under there.
Reminder, though, there is a commotion over by the gelatinous cube.
I'm going to take a moment, if it's not, to reload my blunderbuss. I can't remember if I'd used it or not. So.
I know one of you
Towards
did,
the
but I thought that was
Dragon's
Corki, maybe.
Yeah, I reloaded mine in the lull.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Alex. What'd you say?
Oh, I'm going over to see what's up with the cube. And there's also stuff over there that might become handy.
All right, as you get over by the cube here, you see, just on the other side, it's a little hard to make out what's going on, but you've seen a Dretch before. And there's a Dretch in some kind of altercation with the cube. It's like trying to claw its way in.
That's probably not working out nearly as well as it had hoped. I'm gonna, if I remember over here is a bunch of alchemy supplies, so I'm gonna cast about for anything that might be handy or look like
Okay,
it might come handy.
And let me know if you have a reaction against an attack of opportunity.
Nope.
Okay, well, popping right next to you is an imp, and it makes an attack. And that is a miss. All right, so we have an imp.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna X-imp it.
That's a great
Great
line.
line.
All right, so at this point, they're all outside. So Tabiana, you are next in line, unless Corki, you want this to be your attack of opportunity, or your time in the queue.
No, I was thinking the northeastern door, not the southeastern one. But so thanks.
Okay.
No, it's fine.
All right, Tabiana then.
I am also for now going to hold my action and watch and see what's developing. You know, we've got these gross old hags here outside the door and some howling. But then again, we've got a Dretch and an imp. So I'm going to wait and see where I'm needed most. So I will hold my action.
All right, so it's going to go down to Lucrezia.
Okay. Well, I guess. Why don't I... Oh, let's see my movement. 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I'll move down to here. You said an imp. That imp popped up.
Correct. When it
So-
made an attack roll.
I will pull out my... I'll pull out my crossbow and shoot.
That is a
Alright.
hit. Slug.
Awesome. And damage. Ooh, nice. Full damage. Alright, and as far as I know,
Is
I
that
don't think
double
I have...
rolling?
It is.
It
but
was
I'm
double
also
rolling.
Yeah, how did she damage herself?
Let's see.
Oh, I'm targeted on myself. Weird.
Okay, yep, maybe not do that.
Oh, this hurt.
Did partially resist, but you didn't.
So,
All right, so you should give yourself 7 hit points back.
okay, so
Uh,
I'm down. Whee.
Yeah, and then you can roll it on the imp.
Did it not go on? It's because it says to me it went on to the imp and to me.
Well,
did the
that's
imp-
fine. No, it only took 3
Thank
points.
you.
Well, it did take 3 points of damage, right? I think that's because of the resistance, maybe. What'd you use again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Okay. Okay. So it's good. So I don't need to re-roll it.
Okay, anything else?
I believe that's all I have. That's not a bonus action. So I'll pass my turn.
Oops.
Whoa.
Well,
Sorry.
why'd it go past Maximilian?
Because I messed up. But that's fine. Maximilian,
clicked,
take
he
your turn.
clicked.
Yeah, I clicked it too.
Sure.
So Maximilian, take your turn. Yeah.
Womp.
Ouch. A direct hit. All right. It took some heavy damage.
Oh, It actually should have taken the total of 6 because this is. Let me alter the coding here so it's actually magic because it's magic.
Yeah. But
It does say magic on the.
it has resistance against. It's immune. It has magic resistance. Immune, fire, poison, resist cold, resist bludgeoning, piercing, slashing. Except for magic and except for silver. So you said that's a magic, huh? All right, so it should actually take an additional 3 points.
Well, actually, is that correct? Because it does say magic on the damage.
Yeah, it was capitalized instead of lowercase.
Either way, it's still alive. Anything else?
And I'm done because that's one attack. That's it. So, except I'll probably move into a square. There.
All right, so it is going to be the end of this round. Corki, one last chance. Anything you want to do?
Nope. The imp is out of range, so I'm good.
I think the imp is also out of range.
All right, Corki, you're up.
Well, if I'm up again, I'm basically going to do the same thing. I'll hold until somebody steps through the northeastern door, and then I'll take an attack.
The imp turns invisible. Tabiana.
Well, that's disturbing. Can I make a move but still hold my action?
No.
Okay. Then I'm just going to hold my action.
Okay. Well, I mean, this is what's happening here. So anyone got a plan for this round?
I would.
Otherwise, we're moving to the next round here.
Well,
There's stuff outside this door here to the northeast, and I don't.
there's
two people down further in the southern end of the room. Two people in the north. I think right now that's probably a good way to keep it till we see what's going on.
Okay. Lucrezia or Maximilian, anything you two want to do?
I'll fire again at the imp. Oh, it went
Nope.
invisible.
It did, yes.
Never mind. Did you say there was something else there though?
There's a dretch on the other side of the sort of barricaded door. You know, remember, it's got holes in it, like enough for things to be able to crawl into and out of. Although you've reinforced it, but still, it's not like a solid tight door or anything. It's basically a bunch of boards over an entrance. It is there. You see a dretch. Well, Maximilian saw a dretch in combat with the gelatinous cube that had been blocked in there to do exactly that.
Okay, so out of curiosity, what are the rules with respect to fighting an invisible opponent? Because, it's not like, well, I can't see him, I can't shoot. Because I know, like, in first edition, you'd have a -4 penalty or something like that. So is that kind of the similar here, or is it disadvantage, or what is that?
It is disadvantage to attack something you can't see.
But I don't know. I guess the way I would say it is if you feel like you want to attack a space, you are welcome to. That's how I would rule it.
I think what I'm going to do is move up to like here. I think I can move that far.
Yeah, you can also, if you bump into it while moving, then,
Okay.
Or if it knocks something over, or if you cast a cloud spell, or if you, or, right? There are some things you can do. But otherwise, I'm not going to be, like, just disadvantage on an invisible creature that could be anywhere in the room.
Right.
Well,
okay, so the dretch that's through the door, do I feel like I could shoot at it?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's what I'll do. Dretch. Let's see.
And I'll probably continue to cast about for something handy.
But I missed. Wait, why did it go against Maximilian? What the hell?
Some kind of weird targeting thing again?
It's targeting the dretch, but it says missed Maximilian. Okay, I rolled a 15, so
Try dragging it on the thing again.
that is weird. Can you see it on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm targeting the Dretch, but it says Maximilian. Okay. So did it miss the Dretch?
All right, let me just move the Dretch onto the map. Does that help?
You want me to roll again?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
All
time
right.
it shot at you.
Yep, that is a hit.
On yourself.
It hit me.
Okay, let's
What the
just
heck
remove
is
the
going
targeting.
on? Okay. Weird.
All right, yeah, just do it the old-fashioned way. All right, that too is a hit. Either way, you really probably would have hit this thing, but there we go. All right, so you have hit the Dretch.
And there's some damage.
Yeah, I'm going to move it back behind the cube.
Okay. And that's pretty much all I can do.
Why does the Dretch look like a mutant goat that somebody tried to cross with a human? That's a very weird token.
Well, it's a very weird critter.
That's true.
All right, so Maximilian, while you are searching around, what are you, like, using your hands feeling around, or what is it you're actually doing?
Well, I'm actually looking at things, trying to figure out, like, does this look like it's something I could throw and it could explode, or make a gas, or...
All right, you're looking at all this,
acid.
remember, it's all this lab equipment, and there's, like, lab equipment everywhere, and you're seeing something that you didn't really remember seeing before. It looks like a brain in a jar as you're scanning around, but then you're, wait a second, that's the wrong side. And you turn around, and there's a brain with some legs right next to you.
Well, let's see. So... that's no good. I guess I'm going to have to fight that before it eats.
Yep, I'm going to say that was your action, doing all that, looking around, however you can move if you wish.
Okay, I'm done.
All right, so I'm going to scroll through this round. All right, the Intellect Devourer is first. It is first going to try to, guess what, devour your intellect.
Whee!
Where is Bori when you need him?
And it fails. It cannot get through. You are strong-willed. It is going to follow up with an attack.
Well, not to mention he's also somewhat incorporeal since he's dead.
And it hit for 9 points of slashing damage.
That's not insignificant. As a reaction,
Okay.
I will hellishly rebuke it.
Okay. That's not actually verbal in nature, is it?
No, not. Basically, let's see, the fire lashes out.
Yep, and it failed its saving throw.
Come here.
And it took a lot of damage.
Ouch.
The thing, it doesn't scream because it's nonverbal, but you feel like this psychic pain waving around you. All right, well, here's the deal. The door pops open there, Corki. And Althea is going to do a thing, but let me know what you would do the moment you would see Althea.
Level my blunderbuss at her and take a shot.
Okay. Go for it.
And it missed it.
And it just bounces off the corner. And it is going to mock you, Corki. And you failed. Does that mean you failed or it failed? It seems like it would fail, right? Or no, you only rolled a 5.
I failed.
Yeah, okay.
If you're rolling it on me, then that would mean that I failed.
Okay, right. And you take 3 points of psychic damage after being mocked for that amazing shot. And Althea pops back.
You know
Oh, that I had held my action as well.
That's true. You had held it for the last round. Okay, go for it. That sounds fine. I will let you take your turn now if you wish. Or you can take it when it's your turn.
Yeah, I'll just take
Take it on my turn.
Esnizarius Jr. moves over to the bookshelf.
If I
Tabiana.
recall, he has a thing against imps.
Yeah, exactly.
Be careful, Sneaky Junior. Don't get too far from me.
Tabiana.
As a free action, can I look to make sure Sneezy Junior is safe?
Yes, currently.
And he is okay.
Seems to be making a, as you noted, maybe a beeline toward something.
And is Althea in or out right now?
Out.
Okay.
Never trust a lurking hag.
But I was going to put her in case you wanted to take your opportunity then.
I kind of
Don't want to draw her.
I think we already have.
Well,
That's true, but specifically to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe I can reach 10, 20, 30. Oh, except then I won't have them only spell slots. Well, I'm just going to move to here and not take any further action right now. This way I'm within range of both the door and the stuff going on to the south of the room.
Okay. Corki, it is your formal turn.
Okay, but again, currently no current targets
Correct.
at the door. So yeah, same thing.
Okie dokie. No problem.
Okay.
Not yet. Because the imp is suddenly visible right next to you, Tabiana, and attacks.
How?
And it rolled an automatic 1. So it broke a nail. It broke a nail in your armor. And it is
That'll
currently
show it.
visible. Lucrezia, your turn.
Oh, I'm too far away to sprint over. Hit it. Alright. I'm gonna
Ranged up.
around. I know, but I'm not as good on range. And smack at this intellectual devourer.
That is a hit. All right. It was partially resisted, but did take damage.
Hooray!
Got anything else?
No.
Get him, QB.
So I'm just putting a relative example. The cube has been viciously attacked by at least the Dretch and maybe some other things too, kind of through that door. it's taking a lot of damage, but is holding it back. Maximilian.
All right. I expect you to fail me, dice, but here we go.
And I'm not redoing all that attack formally. I'm just guesstimating it.
Right. Hey, I was
You
right.
could change to green dice.
Yeah, see, you're not supposed to say things like that just before you roll. I mean, it's okay to say those things after you roll, but...
Here's the good news, Corki. You have a target. Here's the bad news. It looks like it's getting ready to cast on you. This is Nona.
Okay. I'm going to throw down a Radiant Sunbolt on her then.
Okay. Oh, no.
Swoosh! Swoosh!
Man, it's hard because the door just keeps opening, and you think you know where she's going to be, but she's kind of deliberately sneaky about either being kind of up or down or over in or kind of doing it not exactly like you'd think. It's harder than you'd think. Unfortunately, not that difficult for Nona to cast Cone of Cold.
Hey,
At 66, thanks for watching, and yes, this is Fantasy Grounds. They sponsor us to do a DDOstream every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can download it at www.fantasygrounds.com.
You got some lay on hands left, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. Let me check. You know, I'm not sure.
I
How
think
many
that's
do I have?
60. I'm not actually seeing the markers on the numbers there. Is there something I need to
level
be
times
pushing?
5.
10,
So,
20, 30,
up to
40,
20.
50, 60. Yeah, 60 from the point in front of her. So there you go. Unfortunately, Corki, I'm sorry to say, you have not. You are directly in the blast, as a matter of fact. You are the point of the blast, as a matter of fact, so I'm going to do a Constitution save on you. Oh no!
Alas.
Oh no! And you are going to take 8d8 cold damage.
Oh, jeez.
Nice knowing you guys.
Oh,
Kablam!
no.
And unfortunately, you are just frozen, solid, and fall with a thump.
The good news is that apparently I am at 0.
Yep.
Also the good news, Nona has not ducked back behind the door.
And
Or maybe that is good news. Hey, critical success on that very first death save of getting a 20.
nice.
So you've been prepared, right? You don't block a door with a gun and a spell and not expect to take incoming, so.
Walk it off. Walk it off.
So if I recall, that puts you back up at 1 hit point, does it not?
Yep.
Yep.
And that means
It
you can
looks
take
like
your
it.
action at the start of the round. And what did I just say?
Actually-
Nona is not there?
Actually, I believe death rolls come at the end of the turn, so I think I'm up, but I don't think I can do anything.
Okay. Well, hey, you know what I'm going to let you do, though? Because you are in the blast otherwise. Would you like to move?
Sure, I would like to move.
I'm going to basically call this as you scrambling out of the way, just as you come back to life.
I think about there.
All right, good deal. Esnazarius makes another trot over toward you, Tabiana,
Be careful, Stacey, don't go to the cone.
and it is your turn. Oh, it actually was at the edge of the cone of cold, and it pawed the little snowbank and then shook its paw, and then it wrapped up its turn.
Oh. I'm going to. I've got an imp here, and I've got a severely injured... Corki, remind me again, what class are you?
Am I coming through on Discord?
Yeah, you're coming through in Discord. At least mostly. What was your question again?
Am I coming through on Discord for the rest of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Was I before?
I think so.
Yes.
Okay, I just asked Corki what class he was.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. I was looking at something else. But I'm a monk.
Okay, so
So you can't really self-heal.
That is correct.
Oh boy, I've got an imp in my face.
Say, Lord Salamis said that you do get to use an action after a crit death save.
I see that. It's nice
So
to
Corki
know.
would have an action.
Okay,
I am going to... Corki, I think you're safe for now. This imp is going to go invisible again. I am going to whack the imp with my quarterstaff.
Oh, there you go. It is a home run.
Nat 20 for 2 damage.
Jeez.
That is a bummer.
It's very hard-headed imp.
Well, I mean, the thing is, the imps have fairly low hit points, but a lot of resistances.
Yeah, that's unfortunately all I've got.
It is the imp's turn to attack.
Oh dear.
And it rolled another one natural.
I
It broke
like
a second nail.
Nice.
I
Like the imp dice. I think if it rolls a 1 a third time, it should automatically just die.
Alright, now it is the Intellect Devourer's turn. It is going to try to devour now Lucrezia's intellect.
You know.
And you fail.
Oh boy.
And you do take 7 points of damage, and you... Let me make sure that's correct. I actually have a stun effect, which I did not apply to you, Maximilian, but I think I need to start applying. I thought it would do it automatically. On a failure, yeah, okay. Oh, the target is stunned until it regains at least 1 point of intelligence. Okay, so that's only if its intelligence is reduced to 0. So there you go.
Okay.
Oh, I need to roll 3d6. If it exceeds your intelligence score, then you have your intelligence reduced to 0.
Okay, my intelligence is 13.
Okay. I guess I made that for you, which is a good thing. I guess I'll have you roll that maybe in the future, huh? Alright, sounds good. Anything else you want to do then? I guess that's it for the Intellect Devourer. It is being fairly successful, so it's going to keep doing it.
Hey, ahoy there, Farg.
It is Nona's turn. And I'm trying to figure out which one I want to do here.
Oh wait.
10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, it is going... Nona is going to cast Hold Person on you, Corki. And it is a failure, so you are held. She is going to pop behind the door. Maximilian. The cube is almost at its last legs.
Wait. It has legs?
Well, you can tell that there's the fight is fighting out of that cube there. And you have an Intellect Devourer in front of you that is pretty damaged.
Alright. It's about to be a little bit more damaged.
Big money,
Big money!
And with a splat, that war pick thunks into the brain and just lands true. And you now have... It's pretty gross. Yeah, I'm just saying. You'd have to really like some kind of raw food thing to be into it.
Be an illithid.
Veggies.
Lucrezia, your turn.
Yeah, so the cube is about to fall, but there's still a door there. I mean, there's still...
Yeah, it's
blocked.
being destroyed as well, so they're getting through here in a little bit.
Okay. Save. I cannot get to Corki at all. Let me see. That's also touch. I don't have a long-range healing of any sort. So, I'm going to put a cure on myself before I fall.
Huh?
Okay, not too bad. And then I will start... Well, shoot. I'll just go ahead and move 5, 10, 15, 20. Get to like there. I'm heading towards Corki with the lay on hands.
All right. We are up to Althea, who is going to pop into the door. Well, let's see. Can I? Yes. And is going to mock you, Corki. Sorry to say. And as a failure. And you were back down. A crushing defeat.
You're rolling really low numbers. Unfortunately, it's on all my saving throws.
Yeah. I'm still, I guess I'm doing it because that seems to be the best way to do it in the combat log. If you really feel strongly that you should be rolling this stuff, I guess it's okay. We could do it that way as well.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. In general, I prefer players roll their own saving throws, but Fantasy Grounds often operates a little easier if you just have it be the automatic.
Yeah, I agree, and that's perfectly fine.
Okay. Well, hey, here's the good news. You made your save. So you are, because it's not a critical, you're not back up at 1, but you have stabilized.
Well, I'm on my way to stabilizing. I have to roll 3, I believe, to actually stabilize.
Yep. Okay. It is Ziemp's turn to go invisible. Where do you think it's going to go?
If I were the imp, I'd head for Corki. I have a weird feeling about Sneezy Jr. and the imp.
Okay, Tabiana, can you make a perception check? You can just roll it publicly.
Okay.
Nat 20.
Oh!
Very nice. Okay, you see, or feel rather, the imp flit by you. You want an attack of opportunity?
I do.
I
I'm going to swing my quarterstaff at that imp.
And it's a
Yeah.
miss. However, it is now visible. I'm going to give you the same there, Lucrezia.
Excellent. Imp. Swing the rapier. But I also
A couple of misses. Well, it is a fast, flighty imp. It is now visible, but it is also over here. All right. The cat, of course, goes around the snow and is going after the imp.
I knew it. Be careful, Sneezy Jr.
Althea is going to All right. Is going to cast, let's see, anyone else within 60? 5, 10, 20, 30, 40. Yep, both Lucrezia and Tabiana are at the edge of 60. So Althea is going to call over to you, Tabiana, and say just a really, really terrible thing about you.
What's she gonna say?
I don't know, but it didn't bother you.
You like cats.
I bet you'd like. Would you like? You know, she's like, "Oh, so you like cats? How about if I give you 100 cats?" And you're like, "Yeah."
I mean, yeah, that would be pretty awesome. Let's do it.
Like, yeah, you
Say whatever you want about me. Nobody's
gonna
gonna listen to you.
Maximilian, it's your turn.
Just a-
All right. Okay. Do. Since she didn't leave, I will miss her.
All right. Let's see. That Dretch. Which one is the Dretch that's down below? That's 3, I think. Yeah. Yep. 3. Okay.
Farg, is that who's responsible? Farg's in chat saying you found the creator of many a crazy cat lady. Althea insults people by giving them cats.
Nice. Lucrezia, your turn.
Okay, question. Can I move around the imp to Corki, or would that give it opportunity, even though I stay against it?
You would still be. You would enter its attack range, and you would still be within its attack range next to Corki.
Okay. And second question, because it doesn't say, is lay on hands action or bonus action? It's an action?
I believe it's an action, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in general, if it does not say bonus action, it's an action.
The bonus actions are often like the self-second wind types, and then there's the spell ones.
I am still going to do this to Corki. If I can figure it out. Hold on. Did that go through?
Thank you, yes.
Yeah, 20.
And now I am
Very
done
nice.
with lay on hands.
Very nice. Very good.
That's me.
Tabiana.
Okay. I am going to, since Corky's back on his feet, I am going to move right over here to the imp. And I'm going to smack it with my quarterstaff so it can't hurt my kitty. Ooh, that hits? Cool.
That is a hit. 4, 6 points of damage, and that is enough to smash that thing down. The cat looks disappointed.
Oh.
It wanted to play with it.
May I toss the imp's dead body to Sneezy Jr.?
Oh, yeah. Are you going to do that?
I am.
Okay, yeah. Esnazarius Jr. actually grabs it in its teeth and then disappears?
Becomes invisible, disappears?
Oh, nice.
Oh, my. The artists found their muse. That's great, Farg.
All right. Well, we're still largely in the midst of combat. Nicely done, however, and that's your turn, I assume.
That is my turn.
And you didn't move, did you?
I moved on that turn. I moved over to where the imp was.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I could...
All right. Well, Nona comes striding in. I'm just looking up a real quick thing on the sheet here. Okay. You see Nona burst through the door. The door slams back once and for all, and she comes jetting out, riding some quarterstaff-like broom. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. All the way over to here. And then cackles madly at you. Her eyes glow with this internal fire, and she just cackles menacingly across the room as she surveys it, as if this is mine now. The cube is almost dead.
Oh, I forgot about the cube.
But he's not quite dead yet.
Tabiana.
How far away from the cube? I don't know, guys. I've only got 2 spell slots left. Is it worth healing the cube? Is he our ally? I'm not
He
quite sure
is our ally, but I don't know that it's necessarily worth it. You know, he was a stopgap measure to try to keep them from easily getting through the southern door. So, I mean, he's basically played his part.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for him, but with 2 spell slots left, I don't want to. I might need to unleash a scorching ray, or I might need to heal one of you guys or myself, or Susie Jr. So I really don't want to use a spell slot on that.
Yeah, I would hold. Yeah.
Sadly,
Yeah, I have no cantrips. Corki, if you're okay for now, I'm not going to heal you. I will wait here and see what develops.
Nope, I'm good for now.
Oh, actually, wait a minute. Can I see? Is this like a wall down the center, or is
No,
that
they are low-hanging bookshelves, largely. Little bookshelves and storage shelves at approximately a little bit above waist height.
Okay, so
So could I shoot my short bow? That sounded weird. At the dretch?
Yes.
Let's do that then.
Then. That looks like a hit.
That is a hit. You have
I'm helped.
pierced her. Although it says to dretch 3. Are you targeted weird?
Dretch 3 is the
one by the cube.
That's
the one I'm aiming at.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you were going for Nona. Okay, yeah, that's cool. You hit dretch 3 then.
Yeah, I kind of want
Nona aggro on somebody else.
Okay.
Also,
I want to try to see. I mean, I'm a cleric. I'm more in the business of like healing than hurting whenever possible. So, I mean, granted, I hurt the dredge, but I'm trying to have the dredge not hurt the cube.
Corki, your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna come running up, jumping over the short table all the way up here to attack Althea.
Nice.
I'm gonna whack her with a quarterstaff.
That is a hit.
Nice.
Ooh, and a huge amount of damage. Just an absolute... She didn't see you coming because she was looking at her mother, or the older hag, which is probably her mother. And you just came up. She thought you were still dead. And you just came up and, oh, bam, right across the front of the face. And she is feeling it. And she is very, very unhappy with you.
Alright, and then as a bonus action, I'm going to do an Unarmed Strike on her as well.
That is unfortunately a miss.
And that'll be my action. That'll be my turn.
Okay. Maximilian.
Well, you can make that move. And then I'm going to hex her. Which is an effect I end up putting on myself for it to work. What happens? Come on, mouse. There we go.
Yeah, looks like she's already under a Hexblade's curse.
Yep, she's got Hexblade Curse and a regular Hex. If I can just not do that.
Rolled a 2, unfortunately. Rolled a 2, unfortunately.
Yep.
You got anything else? Nope.
Nope.
Okay. Well, you are up close. You are up close and personal with Maximilian. Or Maximilian, you are up close and personal with Nona Greemantle. And you see that she is indeed probably Esnazarius's equal in terms of power. She is exceptionally evil, and those eyes could almost make you just give up right there at that kind of range. She is going to do one thing, but before that, let me take 10 seconds to look something up. Okay, so let me look up this character's spellcasting ability just a second. Okay. Alright, so here is what happens. Nona Greemantle looks at you and prepares to cast Cone of Cold. We're looking 60 feet out, and we are looking right basically a direction starting with Maximilian Wolf and going all the way back. However, right at the point of her casting, who should appear suddenly right off to your shoulder there, Maximilian, but one, Esnazarius.
Oof.
I hope he took counterspell.
Indeed, he did, as a matter of fact, which is why I'm looking it up. And so the way Counterspell works is if it is a level 3 or lower spell, it just fizzles. Otherwise, it is a contested... Actually, let me call that back up again. I think it's contested spellcast modifier. Check. Yeah, 4th level or higher, make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. On a success, the creature spell has no effect. So, Esnazarius has an 18 intelligence, so a +4. So I'm going to roll a 20 and then +4.
Plus his proficiency bonus.
Oops. Sorry, let me do that. How do you... Wait a second. Proficiency bonus. It must be automatically there because I just rolled the check button. But it didn't give the... No, it just says spellcast DC equals 10 plus the spellcasting ability. And the spellcasting ability is intelligence. So it'd be just your intelligence modifier, I believe. So the first roll was a 6. So that unfortunately failed. And would have had to hit 7, let's see. Cone of Cold is 5th, so that would have had to hit 15, which the 6 was nowhere even close. Okay, so we have got a Cone of Cold. Let me get Esnazarius on the map here. All right, Cone of Cold, 60 foot. Okay. Even with the reason I asked is even with the proficiency bonus, I'm not going to bother looking it up because it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, because if he's 20th, it's plus
Right,
6 at
right.
most.
So, unfortunately, I've got some bad news for you, Maximilian. It's gotten very, very, very cold.
He turns into a light mist.
However, you succeed your save, thankfully. So I believe it's
Ghost sickle.
half. Yep, and it rolled half. However, that's still 16 points of damage. Now,
And I make my concentration save.
oh, did you really? Nice. Well, I guess you were looking at her head face. You, of all people, knew what was coming. Tabiana, let's see how you do.
Are you rolling the save?
I am rolling the save, yeah.
Okay.
You rolled a 16 and failed. Kaboom.
Never forget, I always
Lucrezia failed.
No.
Kaboom.
Party wipe.
Well, not quite.
Oh, we've still got
Two people
people standing.
Unfortunately, it's healer wipe, so
Yep.
Lucrezia, you
Frozen.
failed your first death save. Althea is going to take the disengage action and then go back out through the door. Just about 10 feet.
I imagine she does it like walking backwards.
Does that give Corki the attack of opportunity?
No, because I took the disengage action as
right,
the
right.
action. Yeah. The Dretch is going... I'm just going to do these last couple of attacks on the gelatinous cube. It hit. For 6 points, and then claws. For another 5 points.
How much damage is the Dretch getting from the gelatinous cube when it hits it?
It shouldn't actually get any, right? It doesn't matter for attack. It's only if you if it enters the space. Yeah, I don't see anything about attacks, so it doesn't get damage on attack. Estenazarius Jr. pops back up. Well, pops back up when I get the visibility right. Okay. On top of the table, sitting there looking at Spaw, it appeared out of thin air. Over by basically Estenazarius, it's looking and going, meow, meow.
Save yourself, Easy Junior.
All right. Althea is not currently engaged in combat. We are on a new round here. The Dretch is going to attack the gelatinous cube. And missed with its bite attack. Let's see how its claw does. It hit with a claw. The cube is down.
No, sorry, cute, but I'm dying.
And the Dretch runs forward at full speed.
Bump.
Tabiana, oh no, you failed your second death save. Nona, seeing Estenazarius there suddenly, kind of freaks out, is not particularly happy to be there, and is going to try to bolt out of the way.
Disengage bolt or just in general?
Just disengage and then bolt.
Okay.
So only gets 30 feet instead of the 60 it would get if I allowed attack of opportunities. Oops, sorry. Maximilian, it's your turn, though.
What's my mouse slice mean?
What's your what?
What's my mouse? My computers have been having issues since a Windows update, so it doesn't really want to work too well.
Okay. Well, yeah, you have re-engaged with Nona there.
Finally.
And have a nice hit with your war pick. The one that still is covered in some Intellect Devourer brain. Ooh. Nona succeeds on the concentration roll. But takes 14 points of damage.
Like it says on my sheet, I don't run from evil, evil runs from me.
Nice. Alright, you got anything else? Otherwise, it's going to Corki.
Alright, here.
You are held, so you have a wisdom save, I believe, at the end of your turn.
Am I held? Okay, cool. Well, in that case, just roll it, I guess.
Yeah, I'll have you roll it.
Okay. Wisdom, you say?
Correct. Nice. You're shaken off for the second time, very quickly. Just in time to see Nona in front of you. I'm going to give you an action. That was a natural 20, by the way, for those just listening.
Alright, in which case I'll throw a Radiant Bolt at her then.
Oh no! What is with the misses?
Yeah.
It's that bookcase, I think.
If only you were a halfling or, you know, get lucky. Reroll all your ones.
Alright.
Alright, Esnazarius is actually not evil, but rather friendly in this case, and is going... Well, is going to say, "Gather around me," if you wish.
I would, but I'm dead.
Okay, it is casting Globe of Invulnerability. That should be... It says... Okay, there we go, 10. Alright. Globe of Invulnerability in effect. It is a shimmering globe basically in the air. Let me read it up here. Any spell of 5th or lower cast from outside the barrier cannot affect creatures within it, even if the spell is cast using a higher level spot. Similarly, the area within the barrier is excluded from the areas affected by such spells, so you can cast out of it. And that's all there is to it. Concentration up to a minute. So that is his turn. Lucrezia, you succeeded on your death save.
Woohoo!
That's good. The cube is still alive, and... Or, no, is actually dead, sorry. And the cat is going to go inside the Globe of Invulnerability next to Esnazarius. New turn. It is the Dretch's turn. It is going to move. Let me remind myself on how much it can move. Okay, 20 feet for regular. And it runs up there. And that's it. Lucrezia, you succeeded again. Does that bring you up? Or is that your second?
I failed the first one.
Right, so that's your second. Tabiana succeeds on a death save.
Oh, thank God.
And it is Nona's turn. Nona is again going to disengage and try to run out the door. However, the door is open here at the end, because it's not... Remember, the doors got blown open.
Mm-hmm.
So she is right outside there. I'm going to move Althea temporarily. And she basically pushes Althea aside on her way out the door. You do have visibility, and if you choose to pursue, we'll probably head back outside. But you still have some stuff inside here, too. All right, where are we at then? We are at Corki. You're up.
All right. Yep, I'm gonna jump back over the tabletop or the countertop there, and head over to Lucrezia here, and see if she's got a healer's kit on her or something. Try to stabilize her if I can.
You find some ink.
Yeah, you don't have anything? You know what? Hey, let's just do this for the sake of actually having fun here tonight. You grab like some crap from the table, like a poultice, and slam it on the wound, and she is temporarily stabilized. And it seems to work. It seems to work. It does burn. I mean, you assume it burns. There's sizzling, but it works. Maybe she's actually awake because of the pain. Maybe, actually.
Ouch. Thank you.
Esnazarius meows. Maximilian.
All right. 19 or 20. That's what I really want. Either one works just as fine.
Close enough.
Rude.
18. 18.
At least it's a hit.
All right. Heavy damage. 17 damage to her back, by the way, while she's there. Just absolutely, that war pick just slammed across her back, raking her back something fierce. Do you have anything else?
That's it.
All right. So, let me just kind of get ready a little bit here. Esnazarius is behind the Globe of Invulnerability and is going to, let's see. What is the distance of Banish? Up to 60 feet. Is that within Dretch range? That is. So, Esnazarius is going to cast Banishment on the Dretch. I'm just trying to get it. Let's see. Save versus Charisma. And it failed.
With a 1.
Kabloink.
You hear a little popping sound.
Dretch 3 is no more. Well, essentially no more. I mean, he'll be back eventually. But probably not in time to be meaningful in this combat. Corki, what's up?
Wash, rinse, repeat on Tabiana. She got a healing kit or anything, or try to stabilize her?
Oh, thank you.
Yep, same thing. Definitely. Okay, so it's definitely the sizzling. That's also maybe where the smell is coming from.
What?
Are
Are you saying
I
I
smell?
smell?
No, just, well, I mean, you know, skin
Hey.
being, you know, let's be
Um,
fairly family friendly
Before
here.
you continue,
Can you,
can I just,
maybe ask you to consider the real life implications of what you're about to say?
Have you ever put a hot dog in a grill way too long? It's kind of like that.
Lovely. I feel a little hungry. So are we conscious?
You are. You are conscious because of the pain, and you are jolted awake with 1 hit point.
Ugh. I am going to cure myself because ouch. Oh, great. I rolled a 1.
You are 4 better, whatever that means.
All right, that's me.
Tabiana.
Okay.
Do I need to make a death save, or did Corki manage to get me?
No, you're fine.
Oh, I don't know that.
You're conscious.
Fine.
Oh,
You got 1 hit point, I think, is what he said.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm glad I saved those
spell points.
spell points. Or heal.
I
I am going to cast Prayer of Healing on myself.
Takes 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's a 10-minute spell.
I'm not going to cast Prayer of Healing on myself.
I can't
Remember whether I want Cure or Healing Word.
Cure gives you more, doesn't it?
Right. Yeah, Cure. I can. When I think about it, I touch my. Can I? It feels so weird asking. Can I touch myself?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to touch myself. Heal for 9 points.
All right, there you go.
Actually, that should have been cast at level 2, and I can't figure out how to do that.
I
Cast it at level 1.
Okay, that's another die roll then.
Oh, so
Cast it on myself one more time?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. I live.
Maximilian, this is your last chance before Nona's out of sight. I'm going to just kind of fudge it, and then we'll move to the next map if you want to keep pursuing. Which is fine.
Okay.
But it's up to you guys whether you want to chase her out or not.
Oh, I'll chase her out enough that I can hopefully get back before I get mauled to death.
Yeah, that works both ways, right? You can pop in there and pop back behind the wall.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a hit. So let's see, do I have click my...
All right. Yeah. So that did 10 points of damage. So you basically raked her off her broom and scraped her back, and then followed up with a side swipe, and she is definitely hurting, and she is scrambling away. You're going to guess she's probably going to take a disengage and bolt.
Yeah, and I'm going to move back in the house and wait by the door.
All right, so at this point, we are largely out of combat. And except you've got a bunch of enemies outside, so no, you're not getting a long rest or anything. But I'm going to give you a brief moment while they sort of prepare what they're going to do, because they've sort of temporarily gone back, you don't know, somewhere in town. You can go try to find them if you want, before they probably make another run. We're going to take a quick break here, though, real quick. I want to get everyone a chance to just kind of get up off their butts, walk around for a little bit, maybe grab a snack or something to drink. Same you if you're listening. Thank you very much for listening, by the way. This is D&D Night on DDOstream every Sunday night, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/DDOstream. New Dungeon Masters every week. I will be back in 2 weeks for a, I guess you could call it Thanksgiving special. There's probably going to be not a lot of thanks and not a lot of giving. It will be weird, though, so you might want to check that out on November 29th. Otherwise, this is the final part of our campaign here today, so we're doing our final combat here after a 5-minute break. I will see you all then.
I'm
All
ready
right.
to drink some potions.
All right, if you guys are all good here, welcome back everyone to D&D Night on.
Let me.
Okay, sorry. Welcome back everyone to D&D Night on DDOstream here on twitch.tv/DDOstream. We're going for another hour and a half here tonight, and we'll be wrapping, well, about an hour and a half. Maybe we'll get done a little early, and we're going to be wrapping up Minding the Store. We are in the midst of deadly combat, including a pretty high-level spellcaster. Some backup support just showed up. In the name of one Esnazarius, said the store owner, the guardian of this large, exceptionally rare magic shop. So, also, somebody not to be messed with. This person just cast a Globe of Invulnerability, which will give you an opportunity, should you wish to gather inside, speak with Esnazarius, and perhaps speak with the cat, too, if you want to, and really kind of figure out what you're going to do here in about 30 to 60 seconds, as it were, right? So, let's get back to it then here. So, are you guys going to go up and talk to him? Right now you're elsewhere on the map. Should I go and move you over to Esnazarius?
Yes, I am going to head over that direction, but first I'm going to reload my blunderbuss.
All right, sounds good. All right, so you are within range of Esnazarius, and he says, I see you've been not minding the store very well.
We tried.
What is going on? Quickly now.
As soon as you left, those hags showed up and attacked. Started
much.
stealing things.
Nona.
They claim one of the things is theirs, but they refuse to tell us which one or give us any other information, so we tried to not give them anything.
Sorry about your rutabaga.
Okay, that was the last one. Grown in a far-off plane. The plane itself now collapsed.
My bad.
He's just staring off in the distance briefly. What are you going to do to break him from his...
Do you have any healing? Because we're not going to survive this otherwise.
Oh, yes. Here we go. Actually, I thought that might be the case. So he pulls out, each of you gets 2 greater healing potions, which is 4d4 healing. So we're just going to have you roll it and apply it to your hit points.
Cool.
You have up to 2 if you wish. Or you can save one.
I'm definitely using one. So 4d4?
Correct.
Plus 4.
Oh, plus 4, yeah.
4d4 plus 4?
Correct. So it's 14 instead of those 10s there, but that's fine. You're just manually adding it to your chart anyway. We're doing it old school.
So I'll save one.
I guess I have to go ahead and drink my other one. I'm still pretty hurt.
Oh, that actually one did it for me. I healed for 13. I was only wounded 11. Yay.
All right, so Lucrezia gets another 10 back.
Wow.
By the way, I took pretty good care of your kitty.
I can see that. Esnazarius says so. You also let him play with imps.
I did.
Let him is kind of a relative term.
True. However, we have a more pressing issue. Outside is Nona and her daughter, and if I saw correctly on my way in, a handful of hellhounds as well, and maybe a dretch or 2. I actually think maybe it's time that I just deal with them. Maybe it's time to send you home. I actually do have the ability to cast a teleport spell upon you, if you wish, and as long as you are agreeable, it will send you at the location of my choosing. And I will be sending you back to the Queen's Palace, as a matter of fact, because the Queen has business she wishes to speak with you.
Okay.
Interesting.
Well,
And
we can't
Glad to hear
refuse-
that she's able to ask us.
All right, so he's going to cast teleport.
Hang on,
Yeah?
hang on. I say, hold on, hang on. Before you do that, is there anything you got around here that might recorporealize Maximilian here?
Oh. I didn't realize you didn't want to be incorporeal.
Well, I don't know if he does or not, but I figured I'd at least ask if you have the opportunity.
He raises an eyebrow at you, Maximilian. Are you going to nod or make any motion?
Since I can't exactly give an expression, what with the mask and all, I'm like, yeah.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
I'd rather be alive. I think it just seems more natural.
Well, okay. He actually just goes over to the table real quick and grabs something and says, when you get back to the Queen's Palace, just eat this vegetable here. It's been infused with what you need. And he hands you basically a pea pod that I guess you can eat when you want to, when you feel it would be a good time.
Okay.
All right, so he's going to cast teleport upon you. And you're going to be willing subjects?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sorry about your stuff. Bye.
Okay, so the good news is you have been teleported. The bad news is where you have been teleported to. It is not where S. Nazarius Jr. said it would be.
I just have one quick question. Could I, before we have left, could I have just said goodbye to Sneezy Jr.?
Yeah, sure.
Can I visit him sometime? Or can he visit me?
Well, you didn't get a chance to ask. I'm sorry. I've got to draw the line somewhere. You didn't have time for a conversation between all that. Maybe the cat knew.
I hope he knew.
So this is what you come to. And then you hear a lock. Shunk, 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 shunk. On the outside of the store.
Yeah, I figured it would be something like that.
He just threw us to the hags, didn't he?
Yep.
Okay.
He should
And
not
now
be allowed to own a cat.
when we escape from this, I am going in there and rescuing that cat.
Sure.
He does not deserve to have such a cruel master.
Okay. Hellhound 6 is the one at the back. It just howls and then casts fire breath on you, Maximilian. And that is a save failure, unfortunately.
Keeping up those dice rolls.
For 20 points of damage. It is not moving, however. Tabiana.
Oh boy.
Since I am right here next to dredge number 2, I am going to whack it with my quarterstaff. I am going to
Yes.
fan the air and create a gentle breeze to waft the dredge's smell away from me with my quarterstaff. And that's my turn.
Corki.
Do I have line of sight on Nona?
You do, yes. However, I would point out, because it's not her turn yet, but it will be shortly, it looks like they may actually have been surprised to see you there. You see kind of a shocked expression on her face, and then a smile begin to form on her lips as she realizes what just happened.
I fire my blunderbuss at her. If I need to step around Lucrezia in order so I don't hit her, I will do that as well.
Yeah, well, we'll fudge it, and we'll just basically say you two briefly, you just kind of nudge her aside, shoot, and then go back. Almost. That was close. It's an 18 or above. It's just basically a DDO style Vorpal effect, insta death. Basically, it represents the shotgun essentially blowing your head off or something like that, right? So, however, this was just a lot of damage. For, as a matter of fact, 7 points of damage to Nona Greenmantle. None of which is resisted because this is just plain old shotgun to the body. Did you have anything else you wanted to do?
No, that's all I can do.
All right, Lucrezia.
I'm doing something similar. Also to Nona. But I'm gonna miss.
Gablam, gablam. But that one goes wild.
I scared her, maybe.
Anything?
Gretch
Yeah,
can't
actually,
hear
maybe
anything.
very well, maybe, yeah. As a matter of fact, absolutely maybe. That smile turns into a scowl, and she turns and begins to move away.
Come back here, my hit points.
All right. Hellhound 5 is going to charge up and attack you, Maximilian. With a absolute miss. Oh, but it actually has
Pack
a...
tactics.
Yeah, it has pack tactics, so that's actually an advantage roll. So we'll see what the second one is. And that is still the highest roll, and a miss. Good for you. I will have to remember, though, on these things that they probably need to roll advantage a lot on their attacks. Maximilian, your turn.
Apparently, I'm drinking this other potion.
All right. Because we are in the midst of crazy combat, I'm going to say you can chug that potion as a bonus action. What do you want to do for your main action? I'm going to let you be heroic here, basically, and do something you would not normally be able to do. This is, after all, basically maybe the last few moments of your life.
Again.
I hate to hear the demon say things like that.
All right, so can I risk some attacks of opportunity to go behind this alley around this building and draw a bead on Nona at range?
Nona specifically, huh? Not Althea?
Nona's the one that I get things if I kill her. Like hit points. And such. But yeah, instead of
She's pretty powerful, though. Remember, she's kind of Esnazarius level spellcaster here. Maybe a little more than you can handle. Well, you're welcome to try. And she's been damaged a lot.
Hey, he did say he gets a chance to do something heroic.
I would point out that we had that one cone of cold earlier in the session and 2 more. You are a wizard enough to know that that may mean she may be tapped out for a bit.
Right. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. All right. In that case, I can actually go to melee with the other one.
I mean, you don't know.
So,
maybe you don't want another cone of cold to the face. You probably don't want another cold to the face. But you also have a feeling that that's a pretty high-level spell, and even a high-level spellcaster is only going to be able to cast it so much. And you've seen it cast 3 times, which is a fairly large amount.
So I guess Hellhounds and Dretch get to swing at me.
Yeah, I'm going to say Hellhound 5 and Dretch 2. So Hellhound 5 is going to try to bite at you with advantage. Why does it no work? There we are. Okay. 17, that is a bite on the way out. Oh no! And you don't make it. You are back here.
17. Wait, 18. What did how much did I heal myself when I drank that potion? 12.
Because it is...
Okay.
Yeah, it's the bite is both fire and piercing damage. 1d8 plus 3 piercing, 2d6 fire.
Yep. All right. Let me move myself back. Okay, never mind. You did.
I got you. Anyway, sorry. It was a good effort, but you are currently down. Dretch 1 is... let's see. Feated Cloud is definitely going to do Feated Cloud. I think that means something that it's pretty bad. 10-foot radius of disgusting green gas extending out, spreads around corners. Any creature that starts its turn in the area must succeed on a DC 11 con save or be poisoned until the start of the next turn. While poisoned, the target can take either an action or a bonus action, but not both, and cannot take reactions. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's kind of the worst thing in the world, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
It's like slow, but powered by stank.
Yep. All right. So there we are.
How big is the radius?
10 foot. All right, Hellhound 4 is next to you, Corki, and is going to bite with advantage.
Does that cloud, does that say creature?
Let me take a look.
In other
Either way,
words,
the Hellhounds aren't.
Are the Hellhounds are affected?
Because maybe even if they would normally be affected technically by it, because it is any creature that starts in there. These are specifically the Hellhound pets tied to leashes of these dretches, so they have been trained to accept certain conditions, such as being around dretches, because they're their masters. We have a bite attack for 11 points of damage. Esnazarius is still inside, unfortunately. Maybe he just doesn't, maybe it was a mistake. Hellhound 2 is going to attack Lucrezia. Oop, also with advantage, sorry. Ignore that. A critical hit, a natural 20.
Oh, fun.
For 25 points of damage.
Yay.
Althea sees her mother and hurries off after her, going, "Wait, wait for me!" Dretch 2 is going to attack Tabiana.
You know, I actually
I really like Dretches and DDO. So you can
Hit. For 4 points of damage. And it's going to follow up with a claw attack.
Ow.
And that is a hit.
Not a very nice stretch.
For 4 points of damage. Alright, we are top of the order here with Hellhound 2 on you, Lucrezia.
Who is styled 4 hit points?
Thankfully is a double miss. You lucked out, and I'm going to call that that. Nona's really out of the line of sight here unless you have a specific plan to chase after her, so I'm going to remove her from combat tracker briefly. Dretch 1 is just cast the fetid cloud and is sitting there laughing and laughing and laughing at it. Alright, we are up to Hellhound 6, which is going to move around and sort of wiggle through. That is, as a matter of fact, though, you know what? That is going to cause attack of opportunity from you, Corki, while Hellhound 6 moves through.
Alrighty. I'll take it.
That is a miss, unfortunately. And it is going to attack you, Tabiana. With a hit. For 12 points of
Ow.
damage. Althea 2 I am going to remove from the map briefly, unless you have specific plans. Dretch 2 is going to also cast Fetid... Well, I say cast Fetid Cloud, but I think we don't need to... I think we can imagine what's actually happening here.
Nice.
There we go. There's 10 foot and 10 foot. So, alright. Constitution save 11 when it gets to you.
Corki is like, oh god.
Yeah, and 4 is going to attack. With its bite. And, did I see that as a miss?
Looks like a miss.
It is. All right. I thought it was with advantage, but I didn't. Oh, yeah. One's dropped. Okay, dropped an 8. So that's a double miss. Corki, your turn. You're starting, so DC 11 con save or be poisoned. Oh, no.
So close.
Yeah. All right. Let me put a poison effect on you.
This is going well.
There you go. It should just automatically take care of it. It is, however, your turn.
Yeah, we're gonna bash some beasts. I'll smack Hellhound 4.
All right. That is a good hit. For 12 points of damage.
And as a bonus action, Unarmed Strike.
That is another hit. For 9 points of damage.
And I'll end the turn.
All right.
Actually, no, we'll just end the turn this way.
All right, Tabiana. You have 7 hit points left.
I think I need to touch myself again.
Yep.
You still have your potions, though, right? Or did you use both of them?
Oh, I do have a potion. Okay. So take this
44
back.
plus 4.
Okay, so 13.
Yep. And again, I'm going to let that be a bonus action and let you take a regular action.
Wow, I am still pretty wounded, aren't I?
You are at 7. So you have 20 hit points left.
But I just healed myself for 13.
Yeah, and you were at 20 damage. You had 20 wounds, and then minus 13, you have 7 wounds, which puts you at 20 hit points.
Oh, I was reading that the wrong way.
Yep, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, I see Jeff.
Oh, however, you also need to make a con save. For you are not immune.
In the tower or out?
Out is fine. Yay, well, maybe you're used to it. Pew? Is that what you said? Alright, now you have your action.
Okay. Comic is telling me to kill the Dretch, so I will attempt to kill the Dretch. Dretch number 2. Ooh.
Direct hit. Very nice. For, unfortunately, a mere 2 points of damage.
I'm helping.
Lucrezia, you also have got 4 hit points left.
Yay! And I used both my healing potions and I'm out of spells. And I'm out of lay on hands.
Well, I will say this. If you want to, you could take a disengage action. And remember that green section is a fountain, but I'm going to say you can basically climb up it and climb around it. You're not surrounded yet.
I'm not, but I'm also not a very smart paladin. So I think I will just smack
Dump
this
that for paladin.
All right, 23 to hit. Very much a hit. For 7 points of damage.
And that's pretty much it.
All right. Oops. Sorry, I skipped Hellhound 5. There we go. Hellhound 5 is going to attack you, Maximilian.
Okay.
Even though he's unconscious?
Oh, is he unconscious? Yeah, good point.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually going to crawl over you and attack you, Tabiana.
Oh, sorry, Tabiana.
He's like Corki. Oh, wait, I'm actually not as wounded as Corki, so okay.
19 as a
Ow.
hit.
Oh.
For 12 points of damage. Maximilian, did you make your save there? You did.
I failed
No,
it.
you failed it. Okay. And Hellhound 2 is skipped. I'm going to skip Hellhound 2. And Dretch 1. Dretch 1 is going to start clambering around the statue, but it is kind of having a hard time. 5, 10, 15, 20. So it doesn't get to move quite as much. And it's scampering around, ready to, I think, pin you guys in. Hellhound 4 is going to attack you, Corki. For 9 point, or no, a miss on a 9. Okay, never mind. Hellhound 5 is currently sitting on top of Maximilian and is yet again going to bite you, Tabiana. They kind of just have you surrounded and they're basically trying to eat you all. That's why with the bite attacks. Oh no, and a natural 20.
No.
And you are down.
I'll remember this later. Just saying.
You have... No! But you were next in the combat tracker. You rolled your death save, and you rolled a 20, which is a critical success. Yes. And my suspicion last time was proven by the chat, who actually looked it up and said, yes, when you roll a critical success on your death save, you actually do get to take an action. So, you have an action and 1 hit point left.
Nice.
Yeah, what I looked up is actually the death save is at the start of your turn. It says if you start the turn with 0, then you will make the roll. So, yeah.
Very nice.
Well, when I think about you, I'm going to touch myself again. And I get to do 2 of these because I'm casting it at level 2. Oh, man. Good thing I'm doing 2 of them.
Well, you're actually just doing 1 at twice power, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, that's what I mean. So I am... Okay. Back up. Kind of.
Yeah, this is tough. This might be a party wipe.
Also, I need to stay for just a sec.
Okay. Is going to do a bite attack on you.
Wait, you're attacking me while I'm AFK? That's very mean.
I know.
Yeah, we sure could use an AoE healing. Right
Yeah,
about
I'm actually gonna hang off. Someone's even as AFK, and I don't want to, especially with this much damage and as it being an advantage on the attack roll. I want her to be here. I don't want her to most likely die when she's not around.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I've been looking all through. There is just nothing.
I will say this: if this turns out brutal and painful, It's not necessarily, of course, the end. Not in my campaigns. But on top of that, I think it might be the actual first time I've ever killed a party in 5th edition. Ever. Period.
Well, we have not been rolling well.
And I deliberately jacked up the CR of these mobs as well, because every time I play 5th edition with people who really know the characters very well, the power level of PCs is really, really high. So I was like, well, this is a 3-parter. Let's see what happens. And you know, put some pretty tough mobs like Hellhounds, Intellect Devourers, Tretches, and a couple of powerful spellcasting hags at you.
Hey, does reloading the blunderbuss take an action or a bonus action?
1 full turn.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, no movement or action when you're loading it.
That's about all you can do. I think you can move because, you know, you can load on run type of thing, but basically, yeah.
Normally that would be true, but remember this is a blunderbuss style. You know, this is old school style where you're pouring the powder in and down the tube and pumping it down and all that sort of thing. So it's not really the kind of thing you can do while moving to any significant extent and be able to then fire it successfully.
Which is why whenever we had a lull in combat, that I especially
Reload.
Yeah. Takes a long time.
I mean, we're close quarters right now, so it doesn't really come into effect. I was just wondering.
Sure.
That's a yes.
Yep. All right. So this may be the end of Tabiana Brightleaf. We have got an attack with advantage, a bite attack.
I would still get a death save, wouldn't I?
Oh yeah, you would. I'm just saying, you may get another chance to do it. This is, however, a miss. Congratulations, you are alive for another turn. Lucrezia.
All right. We are just going berserker here because we are out. Oh no! 2 berserk.
All right. Unfortunately, that is a miss. And you only have the 1 attack? Is that all you can do? You don't have any like bonus actions and stuff?
I don't know.
Not that.
I'm Paladin 4.
Yeah, usually it's 5th level where you get the 2nd attack.
And you also haven't really been doing divine smites, have you?
No spell levels.
Because I don't have any spell levels, and it's not on my character sheet.
Why don't you? Well, it is on your character sheet, but why don't you have any spell? Oh, because you're out of spell slots, right?
I'm out of spell slots.
Right. Okay. I'm just looking at your sheet, and I was like, surely there must be something you can do. And you've already used your lay on hands?
Yep, I pumped it all into Corki.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well,
You're
I guess that is that then. Corki, it's your turn.
So, question.
Yeah.
Can I, as a free action, pick up Maximilian?
Yeah. Let's say yes.
Okay. So, I pick up Maximilian, and then I use a key point and use my Step of the Wind, which allows me to take the disengage as a bonus action.
Correct.
So I want to pick him up and then disengage with him.
Yep. Yeah, I'll let that happen. Sounds fine.
Over here, and then as my normal action, can I pump my healing potion down his throat?
Yes, sure. All right. Yeah, we'll say yes. Actually, you know what? Let's let fate decide. Okay. Make a roll of something 10 or higher, or the top half is a success, bottom half is a failure.
Let me just roll a percentage if you want.
Whatever you want. Whatever you feel is the most lucky for you.
I'll tell you what, I'll roll a D2 since you can. You
Nice.
right click on the D6 and you pick a D2.
Yeah, those real binary dice are pretty hard to make, actually. It has something to do with, like, breaking the laws of physics.
So I'll say 1 is no and a 2 is yes.
Sounds good.
Woo!
Awesome. So, yes, you can do this.
And Max, I'll let you go ahead and just roll the healing dice on yourself since you've got it set up already.
Okay. Open. Thank you. And
Very
All right.
nice.
much better.
Much, much better. Awesome.
I'll move that from my inventory. There we go. And that will be my turn.
All right. It is Dretch 2's turn to attack Tabiana. With a natural 20, unfortunately.
Jeez.
He's trying to kill me. You're all seeing it.
9 points of damage. And that is going to be followed up with a claw attack, which is also a hit.
Jeez.
And is, oh, thankfully, a mere 2 points of damage. Maximilian, it's your turn. I hope you got something good.
No, I've been out of stuff for a while. That's Corki. There we go.
Well, maybe an option then is you remember you guys do have the option to run. You could try.
Sure.
You're not surrounded yet, remember.
Well, more importantly, we are no longer obligated to protect this place.
That too, yeah. All right, chill touch there. Unfortunate. It was a miss.
Trying to open up a path.
Hellhound
Let's
2
go.
is going to attack you, Lucrezia,
Yay.
and misses. All right. Top of the order with Hellhound 2 again. Remember, for those watching, I randomized my initiative and combat tracker, so it's random every top of the turn. I prefer that because it adds chaos and, in my opinion, is a more realistic sense of what a battle might be like.
Yeah, I like it too, so yeah.
Yeah, I do.
And not only did the bite miss, but it chipped a tooth. He's like, I don't know if you're going to get a lot more bite attacks from Hellhound 2.
Take that.
All right, Hellhound 5 is going to... Sorry, Tabiana.
You do not sound
Sound sorry at
Duck and
all.
weave.
I am totally going to remember this.
I am sorry to say another natural 20.
Points left, I am dead again.
And I'm sorry you were dead again.
All right, Lucrezia, grab her.
Well, if I make
Corki.
it, I only have 4 hit points myself. And there's
You
like
see
4
two
things.
dying ladies in front of you.
Okay, give me just a second here. Let's see. Okay, so that's
Oh, hey, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do to try to put this in your favor for this last hour here. Each one of you, because you've been great here this session, is going to get an inspiration point. You can choose to spend it however you want. Every single one of you is going to get an inspiration point to try to pull something heroic off.
Ooh, thank you.
Okay.
what was the poison effect on with the gas? How long did that last, and how long did the cloud
That's
last?
a good question. Let me look up that fetid stench attack. 1 minute. Or until a strong wind disperses it. Which
Hey,
could
wasn't
be
it real
something you could
windy
do.
out here? Because it was cold.
That's true, it was. It was. But it didn't help that much. Maybe, God forbid, maybe it did actually help. And that was better.
Okay, so I know I can only be under one poison effect at a time, if I recall.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
But so by moving out of it, did that clear it from me? And then if I move back in it, I get it, or do I still have it?
Sorry, let me
the
see. It's a
function on?
DC 11 con save at the start of your turn. Oh, starts its turn in the area, must succeed. Yeah. Okay, good point. So, thank you. The poison effect is indeed off of you. Cool, because you're not in that. You're not starting your turn in the cloud. And we've also not been doing that for you, Tabiana or Lucrezia, but hey, it's all right.
Okay, so start of the turn, or when I first enter it, or just start of the
just
turn?
start of your turn.
Okay. In that case, come in here. I'm going to whack Hellhound number 2. Hopefully.
Yeah, that is a hit for 9 points of damage to Hellhound 2. He is looking very wounded, yes.
Alright.
Out of the roundhouse.
So just real quick for the room here, using inspiration, quick look at a D&D 5e generic. You can expend it when you make an attack roll, saving throw, or ability check. Spending your inspiration gives you advantage on that roll. Additionally, if you have inspiration, you can reward another... never mind. We'll just forget that bit. Anyway, advantage. Attack roll, saving throw, ability check.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to do... What am I going to do? I'm going to... Hang on, let me check. I can check this real quick. Oops, I went off my page. Okay. I'm going to spend a key point and then do a flurry of blows on the Hellhound 4. So that's a bonus action.
Sounds good. Man, the dice have not been in people's favor tonight.
Man.
That's a hit. And 8 points of damage. And you have another couple attacks, right?
No, that's it. I did 3.
Okay. All right. Well, that is it then. It is time for Hellhound number 6 to attack. Actually, Tabiana is down. Is going to step over Tabiana to attack Lucrezia. That is a hit. You two are dying. It is rip going through. It is currently, oops. On top of your dead body. Or unconscious body, I should say. Dretch 1 is going to clamber over to this section and finds its way in. That uses its full movement, and it's going to get just one attack against you. It's going to use a claw attack. And that is a miss. Hellhound 4 doesn't actually have too many people to attack right now, and it doesn't really know enough on how to get around this fountain, so it's going to try to go around. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 50. Yeah, so there we go. Speed 50 feet. Dretch 2 is going to move over to there and attack you, Corki. That is an 18. Dropped a 1 for a hit. And that is for 5 points of damage, and then it's going to follow up with a claw attack. And that is a miss. Lucrezia makes your first death save. Tabiana fails your first death save.
Before you roll, I would like to use my inspiration point to roll my death save with advantage.
Oh, very nice. How do we do that?
Roll twice.
Just
a higher one?
Just have her roll a d20, and
Yeah,
if it's greater than 10, she makes it.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yes.
Nice.
I don't know why I'm broken. I'm still surrounded by hellhounds.
So I'm going to
I
turn that
have-
failure into a success, and I've marked it on your
Yeah.
sheet appropriately.
And I get an
Action now because I get a death save? Is that correct?
No. You're still unconscious. It's just
Okay.
that you're one step to stabilization. You need 3 of them to actually
Okay.
stabilize.
Still the right move, probably. Maximilian, your turn.
What language are these dredges speaking?
Gibberish mostly, but it appears that they're mostly just speaking to the hellhounds in some kind of guttural common tongue.
Glarb!
My guess would
So
be
not
infernal.
Not infernal, no.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well. All right.
So, can I kind of throw out what my intention is to Maximilian before he actually does his action?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. I plan on grabbing Lucrezia since she's there and booking just like I grabbed you and booking.
Okay.
If that has any influence on what you want to do.
Sort of. All right. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. I can get to here before, and then here. I'm going to grab Tabiana,
Okay.
and as I do so, I'm going to like have her keg nearby and try to persuade them to let us go, or I'll blow them to hell. Via Infernal, because I can speak it.
Okay, repeat that again. You said something about a keg.
Yeah, her pouch of explosive but gunpowder
Gunpowder.
for her gun.
Oh, okay. And you're going to say what again?
Let us be, or I'll blow you to hell.
Okay. All right.
In like literal, so that's not even a bleepable and it's an
infernal. So I'm going to say, let us do it this way. Why don't you roll a persuasion check? Or, actually, for you, an intimidation
Let
check.
me use my inspiration.
Yep, let me let you use also your intimidation rather than persuasion in this case.
Okay, computer, let me grab that 5. Thank you.
All right, pretty good, pretty good. You
Let
ended up
me use
getting
my
a 17
inspiration.
plus 5 with 22. Yeah, you used it and got the advantage there, which is good because you dropped a 2.
Yeah.
All right, so they appear to be shaken, if at the very least because you said it in Infernal.
She's with me.
Okay. Now you are still in no attacks of opportunity here. $50 gets you right here. That means an attack against you, Corki. But it does not get pack tactics, if I recall, because there is no other creature within 5 feet of it. Oh, no, at least one of the hound's allies within 5 feet of the creature being attacked. So it does get pack tactics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bite. And that is a miss. Hellhound 6. I'm moving you off just briefly here. Is going to hop on over and try. Well, it wants to get to you, Maximilian, but it can't really squeeze through the crowd, so it's just sort of biting there, going Tabiana, you failed your death save this time.
You know something? I still have. You had given me inspiration before on the last episode for using Spare the Dying on Corki, I think.
Yeah.
May I use my last inspiration now?
Yeah, sure, why not? You normally just get one. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I'll just say since you gave everybody one, I already have.
It's fine.
Okay,
Can I roll a d20?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, that was a waste.
All right. Well,
I wouldn't call it a waste. It just didn't have
Even.
the desired outcome.
all right. So Dretch 1 is going to attack you, Corki, as well. And that is a miss. It is going to follow up with its claw attack. And that is a hit. For 5 points of slashing damage. Dretch 2 is also going to attack you, Corki. Same thing. For the bite, that is a miss. For the claw attack, that is a miss. You're getting lucky here. Hellhound 2 is also going to attack you. It gets advantage, however. And hit with a 21. Its fiery breath has brought you down.
2-0.
Hellhound 5 is really stuck. It can't get through the wall to get at you, Maximilian, so it's just going to sit there. Corki, failed your death save. Lucrezia, failed your death save, right? Yep. Maximilian. Hey, you're still alive.
Well, we're all down, so now's a good time to blow them up.
Yep. I'm going to toss Tabiana back behind me, grab her blunderbuss, cram all of her powder into the top, just into the top. Like, all right, very well. Hell it is. Step in the middle of them and pull the trigger.
Okay. It explodes the blunderbuss, sending shrapnel and gunpowder and that within easily 5 to 10 feet around you. Everyone around you is going to take the regular blunderbuss damage. So let's just say that would be Hellhound 6, Hellhound 2, and Dretch 2, and then make an attack roll on Dretch 1.
With the blunderbuss.
Yeah. Or just whatever. Just see if it hits or not. And that hits too. Yeah, good enough. So 1d12 on all 4 of them.
Okay. Come here.
And of course your blunderbuss is gone.
Well, yeah. I figured I didn't really have one, but Tabiana did. So that's why I just grabbed hers.
Right. Yeah, well, hers is gone.
Yeah.
Not like she could use it right now.
Right.
All right, so let's roll out d12 there. What do you got? All right. Hellhound 2 gets shredded and drops. That's good.
That I did do it to each one.
Yeah. Yeah, just roll d12 on each one. Oh, you did. Okay, you did. Sorry. Where did that go?
And then I guess I'll try Intimidate him again.
So I just see 2 damage to all of the other ones. So that would be Dretch 2 takes 2.
Yeah.
Hellhound 6 takes 2. And Dretch 1 takes 2. All right. And you were going to do what?
Continue my intimidation attempts.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah. Roll another intimidation check. Let's see what happens here. Nice. So they didn't think you were going to actually follow through and try to blow yourself up.
They don't know me very well.
And they also didn't really recognize the fact that you were incorporeal, which doesn't hurt you, in other words, when in the explosion. And they start backing up and go, they said this would be easy, Bill. All right. And that is basically where we are. And let's see, we go top of the turn with Corki making a death save. And that, when looking at your sheet, is 1 save, 1 failure. Hellhound 6. Tabiana failed. Your second death save. This is just them all backing up this turn. Maximilian, you are still alive.
I will go and try to stabilize Tabiana first.
All right. But how?
Let's see. Well, I'm gonna do the thing I was thinking about. So, how many these are in this pod?
How many what?
In the pod that I was given to try to restore me to life, how many peas are in it?
Oh, right. Let's say 4 to 6. Yeah, at least 4.
Okay, then I'm gonna hope it works and cram one down Tabiana's mouth before going to try to get the other 2.
Oh, thank you.
Tabiana. Tabiana is now incorporeal.
But is she dead?
I don't know. How does that work? You can die while incorporeal, right? I think. Yeah.
I have
No idea how much I'm going to
You
remember.
can, yeah.
You're saying, hey, I'm not saying you're a ghost yet, but try it on. This is probably what's going to be your new life in the near future. Sorry.
But does
That's what he
Maximilian
does.
notice that? And does he cram him down me and Corki first before he notices?
I don't know. What do you think, Maximilian?
I mean, plausibly, because I was hoping it was chock full of life.
I'd say that'd have to be a roll to see if he even noticed.
Yeah.
Because he was running away from her towards us.
Trying to get everybody.
It's basically a toggle.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in that case, I guess I'll eat one myself.
You are now not incorporeal. Although maybe you should have been. Now that you're surrounded by hungry wolves. Although they are backing up.
Yeah.
Hungry hellhounds.
And then I guess I'll try medicine.
Yeah, okay. Great, thank you so
Of
much.
course, it's unskilled,
Yep.
but whatever.
Yeah, give it a shot. You could roll a 20. I'm going to say that's not enough. I don't know. It should have, easy is at least usually a 14, so I'm going to say no.
Okay.
All right, Lucrezia has succeeded on your death save, and that puts you at 2 saves, 1 failure. All right, so now we're back to a regular order here. The Hellhounds are backing up, but they have not cleared out yet, but they are all just sort of backing away. Mostly because of you, Maximilian. You are creepy and you are weird, and you spoke Infernal to them. So they don't actually know what you are necessarily. And they definitely don't want to upset someone who they shouldn't be upsetting.
Good.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Lucrezia, that means 2 and 2. That means the next roll really matters here.
Has she used her inspiration yet?
I haven't, but I'll wait until that last roll to find out.
Corki has succeeded on a death save here. That's 2 saves, 1 fail. A much different YouTube video.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry, Tabiana. That is your third death fail.
Did you just kill me?
I just killed you. I'm sorry.
Any bonuses for being incorporeal?
No, not really. I mean, I could play
Yeah,
it for story. I could play it for story, but in terms of death, you can still die while incorporeal. Incorporeal.
I'm
So
still going
to
to
remember this.
Maximilian.
Well, just see.
Thanks, Kevin. That's great.
Nope.
I mean, you're trying, but you just don't have the skill.
Yeah, I'm more for the inserting pick into back of rear of head than
Oh, Lucrezia, if I recall, that is number 3. You are now stable.
success.
Do I wake up or just stabilize?
Well, I think you just stabilize, right?
Okay.
Yep.
And that's still 2 and 2 on you, Corki.
Okay.
All the hellhounds and everything are just going to keep backing up again. Maximilian, what do you want to do?
Well, Corki's next.
You see as one of them goes, maybe one of the dretches is actually giving you a little bow just in case.
Alright. I mean, I am skilled in intimidation. So there is that.
And you roll a nat 20.
Yep. There.
All right.
Corki.
Yeah, we'll count that. Sure. All right, well. Yeah, let's call that your third death save success, Corki. And you are now stable as well. So if I recall, that means everybody is up.
Cool.
The dredgers are gone.
You're not coming
Tick.
through on Discord.
Oh, here we go. That means the dredgers are gone. The hags are
I
gone.
told him he wasn't
coming through on Discord. I should have let him just carry on for a while. It'll make-
Ebenezer is right on the other side of that door, probably. You probably want to do whatever you want to do. What do you want to do?
I'll pick up Tabiana since I can now. Physically, and then go up and kick the door a few times.
You're going
I
to
was gonna
confront...
say-
Wait a second, are you sure? Remember, you just saw Ebenezer cast Global Invulnerability, and he has not been in combat for a very long time. Like you have.
Come out and fix our friend.
No, he...
Am
Or
I
at least
allowed help?
let us in.
I mean...
For that matter, is the door even locked?
Well, no, the door
The
is...
door
lo-
is there.
Yeah.
The door's locked.
It got slammed behind and locked. However,
Right.
let me just say one more time. Are you sure that you want to go to the high-level wizard guy who just tried to kill you at the end of a combat where all of you almost died and don't have any health or spell slots or anything like that and confront this high-level wizard that just tried to kill you?
I guess not. I mean,
Well,
I mean, you can.
simply,
I'm not going to
but-
say no.
Did he
Yeah.
actually try to kill us? He just didn't send us, all the way to the court. He just sent us outside court. So it's like, depending on how you want to approach him, he might
Well-
still be amiable.
Here's the thing. He had just been to that place that he was supposed to send us. So he's going to be successful if he wanted to teleport us that way.
Oh, I realize
So-
that.
Yeah. I guess I'm just going to, let's see, what do I even have now that I have things? I guess I'll load my blunderbuss.
All right, you can do that.
And,
I mean, there may be some wisdom in leaving the front steps of Ebenezer's magic
oh sure,
storehouse.
I just can't carry.
first.
I just can't carry 3 people at once.
You don't have to, right?
Well, all of us except Tabiana are up, I believe. at this point.
Well, we're
No,
unconscious.
You're all stable, but unconscious. Okay, well, I'll pick up Lucrezia first and take her into one of this building. They're empty buildings, and then come back for Corki, and then come back for Tabiana, so that we can kind of rest, close the door.
Okay. So you
Maybe
were able
start
to
a
do that
fire.
successfully. You're going to go inside of one of these storehouses. We'll say this little one right here. You have found a good corner where you can just sort of hold up in this corner back here. But this isn't going to be a long rest thing, because, I mean, he's probably going to check see if you're dead, right? But this will short-term get you up and around. Do you want to stay in town? Or is your plan... Is your plan to fight this guy, or is your plan to get the hell out of here?
Oh no, there's no point in staying here. We don't have to. We're not obligated to, and we, as far as we know, have good enough reason to go and see what the Queen wants of us.
Well, okay,
Maybe
so...
she's actually still alive. You
And-
can
Yes.
talk about that.
And she actually gave you the order. You don't actually know.
Right.
I mean,
Well, I figured he was lying about that too, but I guess we can't ignore it.
of course, it may also be that he got the order or something and was just planning to make sure that you didn't get back to survive.
Right.
Or otherwise, maybe he was under order to kill you. I mean, you don't know exactly.
Right. But that's the motivation. A short rest will get up those of us who can move on our own, and the one of us who is dead, it will remain the same.
All right. Well, so here's the good news. You take that short rest. I suppose I could probably do it in the menu technically, although I don't know that we need to. There we go. And while you are there, it starts to get very, very cold. The wind picks up. And before long, you have got the unmistakable sound of those hags coming down the walkway. You hear a pounding on the door of Esnazarius's shop. You give that back, it is ours! You hear some muffled sounds. You're too far away between the walls to hear, but you definitely hear the hags' rage and magic and evil just swirling in the dark, cold winds that are outside. You hear a lot of screeching and screaming and yelling and swearing and cursing at each other. You hear some pounding. And then you hear a lot of dead silence.
Peek out the door.
I mean, you'll hear nothing but dead silence from me.
Well, I'm gonna get
Yeah.
Esnazarius Jr. and bring him to Tabiana if I can, because maybe he'll know something to do. That's my plan.
Okay. So here is what you see when you peek outside. You see what is left of Esnazarius Jr.,
What is left?
and he has been dismembered, placed into the snowbank in a detached format, almost like a laboratory specimen, with all of his various limbs detached in a certain order, and scrawled in blood on the fountain says, "It was mine."
Oh,
I don't like you very much right now, Jerry.
Okay, I guess we won't be bringing her. The kitty.
Well, what the key? Wait, no. Actually, did I say Junior?
you said
Yes.
Junior.
Oh, sorry. No, I meant Esnazarius, not Junior. Not Junior. Esnazarius. The actual. Sorry. The reason that was in my mind is. Oh, jeez. Sorry about that, guys. No, even I'm not that bad. Even I'm not that bad. Okay. No, this is Esnazarius, the powerful wizard that has been dismembered and, placed in limbs across the thing, and then scrawled in blood on the fountain saying, "It was mine." Jeez.
That's why we were all dead silent. Like, oh my god.
Wow. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. I see. I was thinking about what happened to S. Nazarius Jr., which is, you hear a little meowing from inside.
I will run and grab him and bring him back to the house where we are.
Okay.
What's inside?
If he'll let me.
Yeah, he'll let you. S. Nazarius Jr. will let you. All right. So S. Nazarius Jr. sees the dead body of Tabiana, and then goes up to Tabiana and licks her ear, and then licks her face, and then casts a spell. Tabiana, you are still dead, but you are back in an incorporeal state, along with the cat, who you also recognize now is also neither alive nor dead.
Schrodinger's cat.
Oh my gosh.
I am Schrodinger's cleric, and I now have Schrodinger's cat. Okay.
Perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping would happen. Except maybe not the whole not alive part.
Yeah.
Excellent. Let's loot that wizard.
So, yeah, I
There you
mean,
go.
that is the thing, though, you recognize, is that Tabiana, you are basically a ghostly form. And the cat has been also a ghostly form this whole time. Almost like it is in multiple planes at the same time.
Does anybody actually see where old Nezzy grabbed those healing potions from, and what are we going to do with the rest of this shop? Do we want to torch it? What do we want to do?
That is a good question. At this point, there is no S. Nazarius. You don't know what the situation is. You don't know that there's even a queen, to be honest.
Right. Let's loot this wizard remains, and then see if there's anything useful inside, and go.
So here's the thing. The S. Nazarius, the body that's left there, there's nothing left, really. Of note, anything of value the hags would have taken. The inside of the shop, though, is untouched, except for one item that you really hadn't even paid attention to it so far. It was just a little jar that was on one of the shelves, and that's missing. I guess that's what they were after.
Relieved of our duty, so...
Does anybody have the identify spell?
I think we already went through that. The answer is that there's so much magic in here that you can identify just about anything, but it's sort of overwhelming in terms of what it is. But if you really want you can.
That was detect magic.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Detected, but identify will specifically identify items if somebody has it, and I believe you can cast it as a ritual, so it takes 10 minutes and it won't cost a spell slot if anybody has it.
However, I don't think anyone did.
No, I don't think so either.
Also, we would probably not do that during the session here, and that would just be kind of a between-story activity.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, because the reality is, depending on how you feel about it, you are sitting on clearly what is a storehouse of some of the most powerful magic in the entire world that you've seen to date.
Yep. That's why it's worth seeing if there's things we can use to help us on our journeys.
There is. I mean, that's the point, is there is. Everything. There's what isn't, in some ways, available to you. Obviously, there's 20-some, 30-some, 40-some items here, and we can go through that if we bring these characters back, because they actually lived, I guess, and do that again. Yeah, lived-ish. There's only 2 of you that are incorporeal now. Well, one less so now. Was incorporeal.
Hang on.
Well, if
So, Max, you had 4 Ps, right? And you use one on yourself, and you use one on Tabiana. So you got 2 left, since one of the Ps brought you back. Now that she's actually incorporeal, if you give her one, and maybe give the cat one.
you want to try?
Yes. Dabiana is her
That's
body.
what,
I'll be honest.
that's what I'm
the
asking.
Is staring at Maximilian with a look very much like Puss in Boots when he puts on the pleading kitty face in Shrek.
It's
Well,
like
then
you
here you
said,
go.
Tuna.
And
Yep.
Sneezy
Junior has the same expression.
It's like someone said, Tuna.
Well, once you eat one, we'll see what happens, and then we can either give him one or not, depending on what happens.
You feel a strange sensation, Tabiana, as the, at least it's minty, I guess, thing goes down your throat, and you're suddenly feeling very, very solid.
Okay. Here's one for the kitty.
I can move. I can talk.
But here's the weird thing about it, though. It
Uh-oh.
made your incorporeal body corporeal. But remember, your dead body was still there. And you had come back in an incorporeal form. So now that you've had this pee, you're actually staring at your own dead body.
Ooh, magical clone. Maybe we can reanimate it.
Great. So am I? Is the me that is staring at my own dead body both alive and corporeal?
Well, not anymore. But you are alive now, yes.
But I'm still in court.
No, you're not incorporeal anymore.
No, I think she's asking if the dead body was still.
Oh, no.
I
don't care. The body that I am in right now, the body that is staring at the dead body, not the dead body. The other body is alive.
Yes, alive and
Corporeal?
corporeal. It's basically as if you just came back alive, but not in your old body. Instead, in your ghostly body. That was reformed into a living corporeal body.
Oh yeah, like I said, magical clone.
Okay.
Kind of, sort of.
Well, you don't see that every day.
Can
I loot my own dead body to get off.
You can. I guess you probably would, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Does Sneezy Junior eat the other pea?
No, Esnazarius Jr. turns his nose up at the pea and struts away.
Wait,
Okay.
Sneezy, you
don't have
eat
to
Well,
eat
then
it
I will keep it. The day may come that I need to be ghostly again.
Yep. Yeah, feel free to mark that in your character sheet. Just call it incorporeal to corporeal P. PEA. Don't spell it wrong.
Just abbreviate it with a P.
All right.
The
Other stuff is what Sneezy Jr. does in the litter box.
So that is largely the end of this at the moment, the end of this three-part story arc. I've kind of left you not on a cliffhanger per se, but certainly in a place which is pretty open as to what these characters might do should they return in the future. But before I kind of do that, you are in this town. You are going through magic items, and presumably should we play with them again, you'll be deciding just how much you want uber-powerful magic items in your possession at all times, for example, but also maybe reaping the rewards from that. Is there anything else you wanted to do, though, in, let's say, the last 5 minutes of our session here?
Well,
Wow,
find
out
out
really
what
good fun.
Increase my bonds to
All right.
my patron.
Well, then
That's
that's
about
where
it.
we're going to leave it then. Thanks, everyone, for watching Minding the Store Parts 1, 2, and 3 here on twitch.tv/DDOstream. D&D Night on DDOstream every Sunday, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/DDOstream. If you like Tabletop, give us a follow, give us a watch. If you like Dungeons & Dragons video game style, check out DDO.com. That's what the game we done normally work for and what is normally featured here on DDOstream. You can get a free account, no credit card needed. Also, thanks to Fantasy Grounds for being a sponsor of this program. We'll be back. Let me look at my own schedule. The schedule here is we have got Heroes of Battle Rise with Evilbeeker. That'll be November 22nd. And then I'll be back for a special one-off on November 29th. It'll probably just be a couple hours long. It's really just meant to be a casual time to hang out and have a couple hours of D&D fun after a long holiday weekend for many people. So don't expect anything too crazy. Also expect it to be pretty weird. we like to have some fun on that. Anyone else want to do a shout out while I go through the list and give people a chance to do so? So let's start here with you, Even.
Yes.
Evennote, I'm on Twitch as twitch.tv/KoboldEven. I stream Kobold Kindergarten. If you like D&D on Fantasy Grounds, Kobold Kindergarten is the second and fourth Wednesday each month, 9 p.m. Eastern, and I stream random other things at random other times. I'm also on Twitter as Evennote.
Thank you very much, Maximilian.
All right. Well, I run Rime of the Frost Maiden, sponsored by Fantasy Grounds, the first Sunday of the month. So feel free to stop by and watch that. And of course, you can check out our goods at eldritchentertainment.com and the amethystdragonfly.com.
Awesome. Lucrezia, got anything to add?
Yeah, that was eldritchentertainment.com and amethystdragonfly.com. And I will probably be joining the Turkey Fest as well as I play on Rime of the Frostmaid.
Yeah, sounds great. Corki.
Nope, nothing really to add. I'm just me, not doing much of anything because I'm not much of a social guy.
Well, you're here for D&D night, and I really want to thank you for being here, and thank everyone in the audience for being here too. Have a great night, everyone, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.